Please try and sit still, everyone, and do the meditation. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? You know, I know this meditation is strong and mostly it creates a lot of deep silence in people, and I think that's really good. Because in that silence, all of the teachings come from a higher energy. And that silence is very important, especially internal silence. External silence, there's not much we can do about. But our internal silence is the key to receiving, spiritual life, the teachings of a higher energy. And always the after effects of this meditation are very deep internal silence. Please try and sit still. Um, I mean, it really opens us and enables us to become a receptacle for spirit, a higher energy to live inside us. There isn't all that noise and chaos and confusion that usually runs around inside of people. So sometimes it doesn't surprise me that people don't have questions, because in that silence you get most of the answers anyway, and it comes organically from a higher energy in the universe. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? I mean, silence of this nature is really a blessing, because usually in our minds or emotions, there's so much noise that it just rattles our entire inner life. And we need the silence. In the silence, we can hear the Om sound. We can hear the sound of all creative energy in the universe.
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
When you talk about detachment.
Excuse me, you have to talk up a little bit.
When you talk about detachment, I mean, detachment, are you then sort of attached to something else, sort of like into this energy or this centeredness?
Yeah, well,
or is it just pure flow? You don't think about it.
You don't think about it, and you just open to that silence I'm just talking about, and allow your consciousness to connect with what's endless in the universe without thinking about it. If you think about it, you're going to destroy the whole experience. But you just surrender in such depth inside that you allow your consciousness to connect with what's infinite in the universe. On the other side of us is this vast wellspring of silence that is connected to the fountainhead of God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, that energy that is infinite in the universe. That's, it's so essential to get free of ourselves, because we always create the obstacles to truly being connected with spirit. And if you try to think about all of this, how can you think about it? If you try to think about things, you're trying to understand. And how does one understand infinite energy? There's no understanding on a human level. So it requires total surrender. It requires going to that wellspring of silence where there's really deep surrender that enables us to embrace what is infinite in the universe and allow it to become a living reality in our daily life. So that's what we attach ourselves to without thinking about it, but just getting free of ourselves so that this energy can truly flow through us and guide our lives and help us work out our karma, help us, connect with God, help us ultimately to gain spiritual enlightenment.
I'm also wondering about, like when I play the drums, I get into this high flow state, like high vibe, high flow. It just,
Well, that's, you
it's,
know, that happens in
yeah.
any of the arts, Skanda. I mean, when you're painting, a person who is really, you know, a very great artist, they lose themselves in the art. They come out and they look at the painting and they said, did I do this? I mean, I've written books where I've read that. I said, I wrote this book. You know, I lost myself in the book, and the energy comes through like when you play the drums. Now, the whole problem with that is you finish writing the book, you finish playing the drums, you finish whatever, painting the painting, and then you got to live with the rest of the world. And everything in life should be that way. That flow of energy creating the world around us.
Mm.
I mean, look at the genius of somebody like Van Gogh, you know? And as soon as he got away from the painting, he was like a madman, cutting off his ear, lived in a mental institution, you know, put him in front of a canvas and this energy just flowed and created these works of genius. To me, the ultimate creation is life. That is the ultimate creation. And life, you know, manifests on a very high level when we get free of ourselves and we allow that energy to come through us and create all the world around us. We begin to see all of creation manifesting around us. Just like when you play the drums.
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes.
Why do we say that you have to sit straight? When I, for example, for me personally, when I lie down in the night on my back, I feel more energy on my,
Well,
when I sit,
first of all, if you're lying on your back, how am I going to be able to transmit the energy to you? It goes through the eyes, it goes through, and sitting up straight really activates the Kundalini. You understand? I mean, you know, when I was a kid, my parent would keep your spine straight, you know, and it's true, you know, the spine is the pathway through which Kundalini rises to the crown chakra and out into the universe. You know, and when you're sitting straight and the spine is, you know, healthy and straight, that the energy rises. And then the energy, the Shakti in the class enters your system through the eyes. And that will work to help, you know, strengthen the whole chakra system inside you. So it's important to sit straight. You know, it's not necessarily what's more comfortable, it's what really works. You know, it's what works. And when you sit straight and you do your meditation, and that's why you always see the Buddha in a perfectly straight position, in lotus position, with, you know, and his eyes are staring into the world. And, you know, I mean, it's a part of the way that the spirit works in human beings on a very high level. And yes, you know, you can get, you know, experiences lying down too, but it's never going to be as strong. Might be easier, but it's not going to be as strong. And then it's telling you to get your back stronger, your spine stronger, you know, it's very important.
thank you.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart?
Yes.
Hello.
I,
I am let it just now, maybe 3 days now. I am let it go my role like mother,
wait,
and my mother.
I don't understand what you're saying. You have to speak.
You know, I has been mother in 40 years now,
You've been a mother.
mother, and I feel that I'm
Best job,
going to, huh?
the best job in the world. Congratulations.
I don't think so, but anyway, I'm trying to let it go, my role like mother, and I'm feeling so much pain in my back, all over my body.
Why let go? Embrace it. The best way to let go
I
is to.
try and I do that, but why it's so difficult for me? Sometimes I cry and I see what I did wrong.
All right. Look, I cry too, and I see what I did things.
Difficult?
So what? It's all in the past.
No, it's not.
What you did wrong, you know,
Yes.
it's part of your past. And what does it matter? You learn from it so that the next time you can do things in a better, more conscious way. You know, there's nobody in this class who hasn't done at least 100 things wrong in the last 2 years. Okay. I mean, we all do things wrong, but you know, something came to me, it's not to have expectations, it's to learn from everything that happens to us. Not to have expectations about the way we are supposed to function or the way life should be, but whatever happens to us, we learn and we grow because of it. It's our teacher. So what's ever happened to you in your life, let it be a teacher and let it really teach you how to love your children in a much deeper way. And don't feel I made mistakes. They made mistakes too. Everybody makes mistakes.
It hurts. But mistake like parents, it's very hard to do.
I know I'd made mistakes as a parent also, okay? I've also learned how to learn from them and to try to grow because of the mistakes I've made in my life. And that's very important. Then you don't have guilt. You don't walk around crying and beating yourself. All right, what do I learn from this? What do I learn? How to become a better person from this? And that finally, ultimately, when I was younger, enabled me to have a very deep connection with my own mother, which was not a very good connection when I was really young. But ultimately, learning these things taught me how to love somebody unconditionally. Flora, is part of the growth process, and it's very painful sometimes, but you've got to go through it. And you'll succeed. Succeeded this far. Look how you've grown since you've been doing this meditation. I see a living miracle here. Now we're ready to take the next step.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? Okay. If there are no more questions, there'll be a class on Tuesday, and God bless you all, and thank you. I'm telling you, I learn as much as all of you learn from these classes, and I'm very grateful for them. So bless you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this coming Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Night.